Hey everybody, Natalie here from the Pendulums Path. About a week ago, about 5 days ago or so, I put a post up in my Facebook group and was just like, ask me anything, what it's like living the life of a psychic medium. And one of my followers, Shauna, posted, when a loved one comes through, do I hear them, see pictures, or is it more like thought-based? And this is a question that I do get asked quite a lot. It's like, what's it like? What do you see? How are you experiencing this? How are you getting this information? And sometimes I even wonder myself, where is this information coming from? Even though I know where it's coming from, there's no manual or instruction booklet that kind of tells you what to look for and what to expect. It's just I've had to kind of learn as I've grown as a medium. The signs and symbols and how it works for me. So the best way that I can describe it to you, it's kind of like I'm playing charades, Pictionary, and the telephone game all at the same time with a partner that I can't actually see. I mean, I can see them, but not in the traditional sense. Like, I can just see them standing in front of me with my eyeballs. The way that it works for me, you know, when you're playing charades and you can't talk and there's no real audio and you're just kind of acting things out with shapes and gestures and things like that, and it's in my mind's eye, I can see somebody, whether they are in like a full physical form or if it's just the shape of somebody, and they are giving me gestures that are kind of acting out a scene, a scenario, or giving me clues into what I'm supposed to be seeing. I do hear clairaudiently as well, so sometimes I will hear songs, I will hear phrases, I will hear words that come through. Sometimes it's just like little keywords here and there. Sometimes it's full-blown sentences. Sometimes it's bits and pieces, like you're hearing a TV show in another room and you just hear a couple of lines from something. And sometimes spirit will even bring up movies and TV shows and songs that you've heard on the radio to give messages, to help me translate what they are trying to say. With the telephone game, it's kind of like when somebody whispers something in your ear and you don't quite hear it exactly, so you ask them to repeat it a couple of times, and I do eventually kind of get it. It's a combination of all of these things, so I get kind of like what I call little post-it notes and little photographs and snippets through various different forms from spirit to get their message and their point across. So if I've seen a movie recently where a little boy runs up behind and grabs their mom by the hand, I will use that reference, if spirit gives me that reference, to let me know what that child is doing with their parent, or let me know what their loved one is doing. So if I see like a Hallmark movie where there's like a big long family embrace and a big family hug at the end, and I see that kind of image in my head, I will let you know that spirit is giving the entire family a really big hug. If they show me like motorcycles on a dirt bike track, I will obviously bring up that as a sign or symbol that that person on the other side participated or enjoyed those activities, or that they are around other people who participate in those activities here on Earth and that they're watching over them. So it really depends on the energy, the spirit that wants to come through, whether it's your guides or your loved ones. It kind of just depends on how they want to express themselves, and everybody on Earth expresses themselves differently. So for me, spirit kind of is different on how they choose to communicate with me as well. And it's really interesting. Sometimes I get very little information. They give me really small pieces of information and I kind of have to play detective and put all those pieces together so that it actually makes sense. And sometimes they are super chatty Cathys and they give me as much information as humanly possible. And it really does just depend on the energy and the spirit that comes through and what they want to say. I can't pull anybody from the other side. I can't force information out of them. I can't shake information out of them, like where they hid so-and-so's combination for the safe and where they hid the family jewels and all of that stuff. I can't always pull that information out of them. It's up to them on what they want to let you know and what they want to say. But in my experience, the information that they give me and the signs and symbols and all the little like little reels that they give me, little visual aids that they give me, 9 times out of 10 always makes sense to the person that I am reading for and connecting for. And that's my hope, is that whatever I say makes sense for you. Hence my tagline of "I hope that makes sense for you." So I hope that helps a little bit. Yeah, it just kind of depends on what spirit wants to show me. But the more creative I am and the more I expose myself to like art and culture and movies and all of this stuff, it helps me to navigate that little library of spiritual information that I kind of have access to. So I hope that helps answer your question, Shauna. If anybody else has any questions, please drop them in the comments about what it's like being a psychic. If you have questions about my experiences, like the coolest ones, scariest ones, weirdest ones, whatever. Any questions that you have about developing your own spiritual gifts as well, drop them in the comments. I would be more than happy to answer them for you. Hope to see you soon. If you want to book a reading with me, head to thependulumspath.com and book a session with me. Follow me on all the socials. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, all that stuff. So see you soon.